We'll start off with what did you think of Coach Chadwell's? He said you called fastball, he threw change. Is that how it went down?
Hey, he threw a strike. So the first pitch from the handler of Reveille and Coach Chadwell, they both threw strikes. So hopefully our pitchers were watching.
And then, go ahead.
I didn't get to ask you at the time, but how would you compare kind of his stuff out there compared to Buzz?
I didn't get to catch Buzz. Did Buzz throw his all the way in the air? I'm not sure he threw a strike. And Buzz had quite a support group behind him. And Coach Chadwell did it all by himself. So I'm a big fan of both, but, no comment beyond that.
Thoughts for this weekend and kind of what's the next steps for y'all?
Yeah, I think thoughts for the weekend are obviously we have an extremely uphill task against one of the most talented, if not the most talented team in the SEC in terms of potential draft picks. You got 3 first-round picks potentially in this year's draft at center field and their first 2 starting pitchers. But, we're going to show up and give it our best effort. And I think the good news for us, Detmer had a really good week. So let's see what that translates into. He's got to take that into a game against a really good team. It's been very offensive, especially the top half of the lineup can bloody you really quickly. And then, of course, we had the injury Tuesday night, and we're yet to be determined, where Brett's going to fall in that. If he's able to play, if he's able to hit only, whatever. So I don't know if we're going to know that until right before the game tomorrow, because we need to give him every opportunity to get that soreness out.
How have you seen Max Coffer develop
Yeah,
so far?
awesome. Really good. Last weekend was the first time he caught 3 consecutive games, and then we played him Tuesday night. So I think a couple things have happened. Number one, Hank Bard did a really nice job for us, and Max hasn't had to catch a lot, so his body isn't, he hasn't had to endure. For example, Jace Lavalette, at being a freshman and playing every single day in this league, beats you down. Max hasn't had to do as much of that. I think he's gotten stronger. He was already a strong guy, but Coach Max done a great job with him in the weight rooms, and now the ball's coming off his bat. He hit a home run. He hit I think he lined out to right field about 105 or 106 miles an hour. Had a big 2-strike, 2-out hit the other night against Tarleton the other way, and he's caught really well. So we think he's going to be a really good player for us, and he's grown up certainly in the last month or so.
Coach, I know you mentioned Nathan Detmer a minute ago, but what does your starting rotation look like this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to think Wonsing will pitch one of the games, so he, probably Detmer, Wonsing more than likely would be that. I want to get through the practice today and see how everybody feels, and then we'll just TBA it from there and see who has pitched and what we feel like the best matchup is.
And then I know you mentioned a couple players on Florida's roster, and I'm probably going to butcher the last name, but what have you seen from Jack Caglianone?
Ohtani?
Yeah.
I think you pronounce it Ohtani.
I'm not good at Japanese.
I know, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, just very, very talented guy. His mishits are, it's just big power. And then he gets up on the mound and has a young arm. He's throwing up to 100 miles an hour. He'll walk you every now and then, but he's got such great stuff that, he can spring. There's enough swing and miss in his pitches and strikeouts to work his way through it. And when you have a Friday night guy like they have and a Saturday guy like they have, then you can afford to have a big arm on a Sunday, only give you 4.5, 4 to 5 innings or less, because you have bullpen arms that are pretty rested. So, but yeah, he's everything I've never seen him play in person, but everything that I've seen on tape or watching on television is a future major league player.
How important was it to get that win on Tuesday, especially heading into such a difficult series?
Yeah. I mean, every single win's important, and seeing is that we lost 5 in a row leading up to that. We just needed something positive, and I thought Lamkin did a nice job of just throwing strikes. He still needs to improve. You got to be able to not just throw strikes, you got to be able to execute pitches that get any team out, whether it be on the week or on the weekend or during the midweek games. But it was and then we held on, and so I think we're at a point right now is, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? And the last 4.5 innings that Arkansas were really good. We're not believer. The previous 4.5 were really bad. That's why we lost the game. But you know, we played pretty clean baseball on Tuesday. So to have any chance to win a game or a series or more this weekend, we're going to have to really limit free bases, because these guys, you know, they can mishit balls out of the ballpark, and so you got to pitch to the bottom of the order, keep those guys off base, and then execute pitches and not have those big hitters hitting with runners on.
I know when you reach this point in the season, and you're kind of looking at the RPI situation and stuff, the cliche is, well, you know, the postseason kind of starting early for a team. Do you feel like y'all are at that point now, where
yeah, I mean, I don't even know what RPI is, and I don't want to know it. I mean, don't tell me. You know, I haven't looked all season. I just know if we win games in the SEC, all that stuff's going to work itself out. But yeah, I mean, I think everybody, when you have a losing record in your conference, and even when it's in this league, you know you're on the bubble of everything, bubble of making the SEC tournament. So a lot can change in 1 week in this conference, both for you and against you. So I don't even think our teams. The way I look at it is we need to play good baseball, and if we play good baseball, then that'll take care of itself. And if we don't, then we weren't deserving of being in a postseason. Okay.